This video tutorial I will explain AWS S3 Lifecycle Rules. AWS S3 Lifecycle Rules allows you to manage your objects so that they are stored cost effectively throughout their lifecycle. By defining lifecycle rules, you can transition object to different storage classes or delete them after a certain period. These rules can help you to save money on your S3 bill by automatically moving data to cheaper storage classes or deleting the data that is no longer needed. What are S3 lifecycle rules? Lifecycle rules in S3 allows you to define actions on your objects based on their age and other criteria. There are two actions are there: transition action and expiration action. Transition action means move objects to different storage classes. Expiration action means permanently delete objects after a certain period. S3 storage classes overview. First one is S3 standard, which is general purpose storage for frequently accessed data. Next one is S3 intelligent tiering, which automatically moves data to most cost effective access tier. Next one is S3 standard IA, which is used for data that is accessed less frequently but requires rapid access when needed. And this one is lower cost for data accessed less frequently. Next one is S3 one zone IA. This one is a lower cost option for infrequently accessed data which is stored in single availability zone. Next one is S3 Glacier. This one is low cost storage for data archiving. Retrieval times ranges from minutes to hours. Next one is S3 Glacier Deep Archive. This one is lowest cost storage for long-term data archiving. Retrieval times ranges from 12 to 48 hours. Now we will see how to set up lifecycle rules. You can set up lifecycle rules through AWS Management Console, AWS CLI, or using AWS SDKs. We will see how to do using AWS Management Console. First, you have to log into AWS Management Console, then navigate to S3 service. Then choose the bucket where you want to apply the lifecycle rules. Then click on Management tab and click on Create Lifecycle Rule. I have logged into AWS Management Console. Search for S3. Click on S3. And here you can see the bucket which is already created. Click on this. And here you can see the Management tab. Click on this. And here you can see Create Lifecycle Rule button. Click on that. Next, we have to define the rule scope. First, enter the rule name, then define the scope of the rule by specifying the prefix or tags to filter the objects. We will see how to do that. This section is lifecycle rule configuration. Here you have to give the rule name. I am giving move data, and you have to choose the rule scope. If you select this, then this particular rule will be applied to all the objects in the bucket. And suppose say in the bucket there are 100 objects are there. You want to apply the rules for only 50 objects. Then you have to select this and provide the filter type. You have to provide a prefix here, or you can specify the tag. I am going to select apply to all objects in the bucket. Then select this. Next, you can add a transition action based on object age. For example, move objects to S3 standard IA storage after 30 days and move objects to S3 Glacier storage after 90 days. And also you can add expiration action to delete objects after a certain period. For example, permanently delete objects after 365 days. We will see how to do that. This section is Lifecycle Rule action. You have to choose the actions you want this rule to perform. I am selecting this option. Transition current version of objects between storage classes. Select this. Days after object creation, 30 days. Add one more transition. Glacier instant retrieval after 90 days. Like that, you can choose other actions also. Expire current versions of objects. Here you can see days after object creation, 200 days. Then carefully review all the configurations you have set for lifecycle rule. Then click on create rule button to save and activate the lifecycle rule. Then regularly monitor the rule's effectiveness and adjust as needed. Here you can review the transition and expiration actions. Objects uploaded, and after 30 days, objects move to standard IA storage. Then after 90 days, objects move to Glacier instant retrieval. Then after 200 days, objects expire. Then click on create rule. Here you can see the rule has been created. Status is enabled and scope is entire bucket. Now we will see the example use case where lifecycle rule can be used. First we will see the scenario, data access pattern. You have a bucket where data is frequently accessed for first 30 days, infrequently accessed for next 60 days, and rarely accessed afterward. For this scenario, optimal storage solution is set up a lifecycle rule with transitions to match this access pattern, moving data through different storage classes as data ages. Now we will see the solution for the scenario which we have just discussed. 0 to 30 days, store the data in S3 standard for frequent access. 31 to 90 days, transition data to S3 standard IA storage for infrequent access. Day 91 onwards, transition data to S3 Glacier storage for long-term archival. Now we will see implementation of the scenario which we have discussed. First, you have to set up a new lifecycle rule in your S3 bucket. Then configure transition to S3 standard IA storage after 30 days. And you have to add another transition to S3 Glacier storage after 90 days. Now we will see benefits of using lifecycle rules. Cost saving. Automatically transition data to cheaper storage classes at the data ages, which reduces overall storage cost. Optimization. Helps optimize storage usage by automatically deleting objects that are no longer needed. Data management. Lifecycle rules simplify data management by automating transition and deletions. Compliance. Lifecycle rule ensure data is retained for required period, then deleted automatically, aiding in regulatory compliance. Now we will see storage class strategy for saving money with lifecycle rules. For frequently accessed data, we have to use S3 standard storage. For infrequently accessed data, we have to use S3 standard IA or S3 one zone IA storage. For archive data, we have to use S3 Glacier or S3 Glacier deep archive storage. For old data, automatically delete after it is no longer needed. We have to keep frequently accessed data in S3 standard storage for immediate availability and high throughput. S3 standard storage is more expensive per GB, but it is cost effective for data that is accessed multiple times per month. And S3 standard storage is ideal for active websites, mobile and gaming applications, and big data analytics. We have to move infrequently accessed data to S3 standard IA storage for lower storage cost while maintaining rapid access when needed. For even lower cost, we have to use S3 one zone IA storage if your data can be recreated or is replicated elsewhere. We have to move archive data to S3 Glacier for long-term storage at a significantly lower cost. Retrieval times ranges from minutes to hours. For the lowest storage cost, we can use S3 Glacier Deep Archive Storage for data that is rarely accessed and can tolerate retrieval times of 12 to 48 hours. Now we will see old data management. Using lifecycle rules, we have to identify the data that has reached the end of its useful life. Then configure expiration actions to automatically delete old data after a specified period. By deleting unnecessary data, you reduce storage cost and simplify the data management. Now we will see the conclusion. By leveraging S3 lifecycle rules, you can optimize your storage cost and ensure efficient data management in AWS S3. Lifecycle rules automate the process of moving data between storage classes and deleting unnecessary data. With proper implementation, you can significantly reduce your S3 storage cost while maintaining optimal data access and compliance. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please click on like button and please subscribe to my channel. You can get Java source code and PowerPoint presentation for each and every video. That you can see it in the description section of the video. Click on show more and here you can see the description and here you can see the links to download source code and PowerPoint presentation.